All right, guys, here we go. We're going to do the video on Trucking Pro Business Manager software. All right, so I'm going to demonstrate some things on it, try to show you what's a little bit different from this than Trucking Pro 7, and I'll go through, put in a load or two, maybe a demonstration load. Not my actual load, but a demonstration load. All right, here we go. I'm going to try to do this holding on to this phone. I really needed to get a different camera to do this. I just can't get it to seem to set up right on anything to get a good view, close up or anything. So we'll try this, and if it's flopping around, I'm sorry about that. But this is the upgraded program that I upgraded to from Trucking Pro 7. This is the new one, Trucking Pro Business Manager. I'll show you a couple of things that it does different. Here is my scanner. I use an Epson, which I showed you in that other clip before this one. All right, so here we go. If you click on revenue, and I put a test run in here so I don't have to show what my loads were because I have stuff in there. So this is a mock run, okay? You type in your load number in here, and then you come down, you do a truck number, put a truck number in there, and then you can put a driver if you want, because this will do several drivers. If you have a lot of drivers and trucks, this is added features for this, okay? If you click on autofill last empty spot, it's going to fill in your last empty spot with an odometer reading. All right, so we're going to say we picked up on Monday, yesterday in Grand Rapids. That's where we dropped off. And then we're going to say we delivered today in Chicago. So we filled in the odometer reading because we picked up the same place we dropped off at. All right, and then we put our ending odometer reading here. And when you do that, your paid miles are going to come over here. It's 170 miles, okay? That's what the paid miles was. But if you notice here, we did 180 miles. And that's going to be down here because that's actual miles. See, that's what it's going to figure out. So we put in the load paid $360. At 170 miles is $212 a mile. Okay? I'm going to take this out because I'm going to show you what I did there. All right, so I'll zoom in here. So that means on the actual miles, it's 180. 10 more miles, it drops it down to $2 per mile for the $360. See the difference? There's 212 at 170, and the actual miles was 180, so $2. All right, so when we come over here, we can do discretionary pays. So let's say we had stop pay, and you can drop this menu down and pick anything you want. If there's nothing in there that you need, you can click on this box and you can add a new record and you can put anything in there you want, okay? So let's say this load had an extra $50. It's hard to do this, so I'm trying to hang on to the camera and do the phone at the same time. I need to get a camera to do this. Okay, $50. Okay, so now see what that did? That added the 50 to the 360 and ended up with a 410 total trip pay, and it boosted it up to 228 a mile. Okay, so there you go. That's how that works. Now this load status, this is new to Business Manager. Now if you're available, this is somebody who has a lot of trucks, you can click available for load status so you know what trucks are available to be loaded. The ones that are in transit with a load, you could click the in transit button on each load that you fill in for these trucks. And then delivered, you can put that in there so you know which ones have delivered, which trucks are available, and in transit. So it keeps track of all that for you. And all you gotta do is click on this load status button here, and it's gonna show you all of those different things of what your trucks are doing. I don't use that because I only have one truck. And I'm not gonna click on load status because that's gonna bring up all the loads that I've done, okay, in the computer, all right? So once you enter in this information right here on the first page, everything about your trip, all right, then what you got to do is, if you're an automotive, if you haul automobiles, I'll show you what it does. You click on that, you can add photos, notes, make, models of the cars and everything. Okay, but here's the pickup and drops. You're going to go right to this tab for all you guys that just got one truck, and you can pick from the drop down menu what you did. You either live loaded, live unloaded, picked up loaded trailer, and so forth. Well, let's say we picked up a loaded trailer, and we can put a row number in here. And this is what's new to the Business Manager from Trucking Pro 7. When you hit this date and time, you've got this nice little calendar with the time. And this is a sliding scale, so you can slide the scale. So if, let's say we picked up at 6:20 in the morning on the 20th, and we delivered at, and we departed at 11:19, it adds in how much detention time or how much time we were there, 4 hours and 59 minutes. Now when you drop down this menu to pick your customer, you start typing in there, we have customer codes that are numbers, so once I start typing numbers in there, if I've been there before, it's going to come up in the list. So I just pick it from the list, and then what it does when you automatically pick it from the list, it'll fill in your city and your state. Okay, just like that, it'll fill in the city and state. So you do the same thing for your delivery. Okay, we delivered, we put in the times, and it was 5 hours and 23 minutes. Like, remember, this is just a demonstration. Those aren't actual times. I'm just showing you what it will do for you if you want to keep track of detention time and everything. And in the notes section here, right here, I put in no parking. Because let's say you looked and the company says there's parking, but there's not. You can put that in the notes. So now every time you look up your customer in your database, you can see your notes, no parking, or don't arrive more than 10 minutes to the gate, or they won't let you in. You can put whatever you want in there. All right, so that's these time things to keep track of detention, all that. That's new to the program from the other program. All right, so then once you fill that in, your customer, where you went, picked up and delivered, you click on the fuel tab. I put one in here for you. Here's the fuel. You click autofill, it'll put that mileage there in there. You put your other mileage in. If you drop this down, you can go through all these and pick a truck stop that you're at. If I pick that one, it shows that, and this is by their telephone number, and it'll fill the state in, and then you pick how you paid for it. You can pick ComCheck. You put in the quantity, in the total, and it figures your cost. See, if the quantity is 75 gallons, and let's say we paid $260 for it, the cost would be $43.46.7. Okay. Now, if you had any advances, you could put that in there. You could put the invoice number in there, but I don't, because what I do is I click on this tab here, and that brings up the fuel receipt. And if we right click, we can hit scan. And here's my scanner. Okay. So I'll just take a receipt from my pile over here, and it doesn't matter, it's not gonna be the right one, but I'll show you how it works. So you just take it like this, and you stick it in your scanner. All right, and we're gonna come over here, and we're gonna click acquire, and it's going to, see, it's going to scan it in. And when it gets scanned in, this is what it's gonna look like. If we go down, did I even scan it in? See, look at that, something that didn't work the first time. All right, we're going to delete it because it didn't scan in right. We'll try this. We'll try this one. We'll try the receipt again. All right, we're going to scan acquire. And it's scanning. All right, so it's going to scan in. So there it is. So we hit OK. And then if we go over here, we can. It's hard to do this because I can't see the screen, but we scan down on the receipt, and you'll see the receipt with the gallons and the total and all that good stuff. Okay, so there you go. That's how you scan them in, and you can save it, print it, whatever. Okay, so we're just going to delete it out of it because I don't want it in on this, because I'm going to delete this trip at the end of this. All right, so here we are, and then you got fuel expenses and trip expenses. You click on this, So after you do your fuel, and you can, do all your stuff there, scan them in and everything. So when you go trip expenses, you add a new record, and then you can put the date, invoice number, how you paid for it, truck, all this, fill in all this stuff, vendor, and if you do get like fuel additive or gallon oil or cord for your CB or whatever, you can put that in there, and then you can invoice. The same thing, you can just scan acquire, and you can put the receipt in there. Okay, so that's how that works. Now route, if you click on route, you can click the state you're in, your odometer readings, and it figures out your miles, and the gallons purchased will come in here. From your fuel receipts that you enter in on a trip, those will come in here, and you can put in the highways used. So at the end of the quarter, you can print your whole IFTA report, and it'll have all your stuff there to fill out for IFTA. All right, you can put notes in on the trip if you want. It'll show you your profit and loss. All right, so if you had no fuel and your total pay was $410, your profit would be $228. Okay, but I had deleted that fuel record, so it's not going to show up. All right, but if you did, we can run through it real fast. You can say boom, like that, and you can say I fueled on the 20th, and if you had DEF, you click that and fill that in, but we're going to say right here, you put in from your last stop, and then your mileage from your fuel, and then we'll just pick a truck stop just to show it. Alabama would go in there, but it was, on the way with cash. Quantity, 78 gallons. And let's say the total was 175 just for demonstration. So when you get your profit and loss, see how I just changed that? Your fuel went in there, and you scroll on down. Your profit per mile is $1.31. Your cost was 97 cents a mile with your fuel and everything. So you ended up with a profit of $2.35. All right, so that's how that works. And then documents, you hit that, and you can right click and hit scan acquire, and you can put your bill in here. Okay, and I won't hit load status because that'll bring up all my loads and everything. Okay, so that's how that works. That's how you enter in your trip info. It goes real quick. It's really easy. So we're going to delete this record, and I'll just hit delete. Well, before I delete that record, I'm going to go back up here, and I'm going to delete that fuel record, because I don't want this in my thing here, but okay, I'm going to delete that record. Alright, so we close this out. So this is how the program works. Alright, so now we got reports. We can do reports. Now customers will have our customers, brokers, clients. If you have, if you're Landstar or wherever, it'll bring up that. Expenses, if you hit that, this expense thing will come up. And let's close that out. That'll bring up your expenses. Fuel edit, you can go in there and edit your fuel. Truck stops, if you click on it, it gives you all the truck stops, and you can add new records or delete records. You can sort through them, and then you can check these boxes if they have anything in there that you like, so you know. And this brings up your calendar. This will bring up your trucks. So if you have more than one truck, you put them all in here. You put all your trailers in here. Same thing with your APU. You can bring up your APU. You can take your brand, model, number, your service dates, and then you can click on your maintenance, and you can put in all your maintenance time and cost and repairs in here, and it keeps track of your APU. That's new to the program also. Reports, you hit your reports, and you can see all the reports that you ever want to know about your trucking operation. Okay, you can hit revenue, paid by date, revenue by all, other revenue by date, revenue by agents and brokers, revenue by truck, revenue by the driver. You have several drivers, you can see who's doing the best. Fuel by state and date, fuel by date, reefer, DEF by date, and so forth and so forth and so forth. You know, it's got everything. So you can pick a starting date. Let's go back here to January just so you can see what it would look like. Okay, and then we're going to go to today, and we're going to say DEF fuel by date. And then this is going to show you all the DEF purchases, gallons, what it cost by date. All right, and it'll show you the total amount of money and everything, gallons and the cost per gallon and all that good stuff. So that'll be the same thing. If you did reefer fuel by date, you'd see all of that. You can do expenses by your card, category, trip, date, driver pay by, you know, category. It's got all this stuff. So there's nothing in here that this program really doesn't have. You know, all of these reports you can get just by. All right, so that's, I don't know where that left off at, but sorry about that. Something stopped the camera. So this will print out any report you ever want to know about your trucking operation. Because if you have Landstar, if you're with them and you got brokers, or if you know, have your own authority, you got an agent list and broker list in there, you can print the inactive ones and active ones. I can print all the customer lists that I've been to, the vendors, and so forth. You can go up here and you can see all of your profit and loss statements, unpaid loads. You can view those. That's how it can. You click that load paid by date, and so if you forget that, you click on this, it'll show you any unpaid loads, so you know to go to that load number and click paid and what day you were paid on. All right, so you got profit and losses for paid loads, all the loads, including the ones that aren't paid. You can do maintenance report by dates. Here's your IFTA report. You click on that. There's no data in there, but if there was, it would show that up. You can click on my miles per gallon. That'll bring your miles per gallon up for your truck. You click on expenses by truck. So you have to select your truck. See, it tells you if you do something wrong. So I go in here and I select a truck. And now I do expenses by truck. And then here's all of the expenses by the truck. And it'll bring them all in here. Okay? And there's 5 pages. And at the bottom down here, you can select the page you want to go to. So you will go to page 2. And here you go. It'll show you the insurances and everything and the expenses by the date. So that's the program. You know, that's the report side. You can do it. It's got a digital filing cabinet. You can find loads. Here's a phone book. You can put stuff in your phone book. Driver profile. Here's your per diem. This is new too. So in here you can put in. My button. I see my finger keeps hitting the button. Sorry about that. But here you can put in the days you're like on the road. Okay, so I put in some stuff in here for you to demonstrate. Let's say my last home date was January 1st. My first day home, the 8th. Last day home, the 8th. So it says I was out 6 days. Days home 1, and so forth and so forth. It'll show you. So let's say, you know, January 15th was last day home. Last home date was January 15th. I worked until the 24th. Okay, then my last day home was the 31st. So I was out 8 days and home 8 days. Okay, vacation, right? So that keeps track of that. You know, out 6 days, home 1, out 5, home 2. So I just show you, you know, so last home day was February 15th. You could just click in here, and then you could put in, you know, what you were home. Let's say the 21st and so forth, and it'll add the days up. Okay. And you can review the report, new record, delete record. So if I hit preview, this is what it's going to do. It's going to say my year-to-date per diem. Total days home 15, total days out 29. You put your $59 per diem rate in there. You put whatever rate in there. The total is $1,711. Now, this would be your rate. And that per diem you put in there, you know, we're at 80%, so the tax would come out here. It would show you that. That's why I started just doing a demonstration, so I didn't put that in there. But it'll give you this report. So you print this report out, shows days home, days out. So So that's how that works. I was just making sure there wasn't nothing at the bottom, but it shows you right there, 1529. So you take the 29 times the 59 comes 1711. So you just put that right on the tax form. Okay, so that's how that does for the per diem. That's new to the program also. So that's another reason why I got it. You know, you could do new record, and then you could just start filling this stuff in. And of course you can type in stuff, but it's not going to do it. So I could do 7, 15, oh, see, said I did it wrong. I did enter a per diem year before. Oh, see, here you go. See, it tells you when you do something wrong. So you can hit per diem year 2015. You can pick a driver. See, and then now it's going to fill all that in for me. So it's really easy because it'll tell you if you're doing something wrong. So see if it does it right. See, April 3rd was our last day at home, and then let's say we're out until April 7th. See, it says days out 3. So it puts it in there for you. And if we were at home until the 10th, there's 4 days. And then you go down and you just, last home day would be the 10th, and you just fill it in. You can just fill it in for the whole month, and you have the record. Okay? That's how that works. But let's X that out. We close it out. Alright, so that's how the per diem works. And you have a log calculator. If you want to bring that up, it'll do a recap for you. Isn't that pretty? You can do a recap. It'll keep track of all that for you if you don't want to recap yourself. So we close that. So there you go. That is pretty much Trucking Pro Business Manager. Sorry for the bad video there, you know, because I try to hold on to the phone. Like I said, I'm working on trying to get a nice video camera with some mounts that I could just mount up in the truck and point straight down at stuff, so it'll be a lot easier. But that's just a quick demonstration. It's a powerful program. You know, anybody can use it, whether you have 1 truck, 10 trucks, or 100 trucks, and so forth. All right, so I hope everybody enjoyed that. Like I said, maybe I'll do another one when I get a better camera, because that way I could have showed scanning the documents a lot easier, because I'm trying to hold on to the thing and hit buttons, and you all know how it goes. All right, so if anybody, I'm gonna put in my description my name and my driver ID number, and if my videos helped you, you know, wanting to come over to where I'm at here, you know, if they ask you who referred you, just give them my name and driver ID number. And I appreciate everybody watching. Thanks to all my subscribers, and we'll see you later.